Hi guys, Joe here again. So today we're going to be setting some statics. So that's these things. We're going to be setting some bat static recorders just in a site that we have at work. It's quite hilly, this site, but I'll be giving you a quick rundown of how to set them, what they're here for, and all of those other little bits. And I'll catch up with you when we get to the first location. So I've just got to the first location. These are the static recorders that we use. These are SM4s from Wildlife Acoustics, and they use an ultrasonic microphone to record any bat sounds. We set them and leave them for 5 days so that we can get enough data for each month survey. So with these static recorders, what you want to do is you want to set the box on the floor. This one's just over here, and get this microphone just up here, located somewhere that is off the ground, slightly elevated, and that will be okay. Ideally, you want these pointing down a linear structure, so we've got a nice block of woodland just along here. So we're just going to see what is using the edge of woodland, using the field, and then we should get enough data from that for this location. So each site does have different requirements, and all of the details about that is all in the guidance. Sorry, it's not a very nice day today. Is all in the guidance, so you need to make sure you check that out. I'll link it in the description below so that you guys can find it nice and easily. But yeah, essentially we set them out. They're out for at least 5 nights. So these are going to get picked up in 5 days' time. As long as the weather's all right. There needs to be 5 weather appropriate nights, so it can't be too windy, can't be rainy, all of those other things. But again, all of that is set out in the guidance. With setting these statics, they're there to detect bat activity. Okay, so they're not there to do any of the, to get you population numbers or estimates, anything like that. It's just there to see which species are at each site. That's because even if you only have one bat, they can pass by the static quite a few times. So you might have just one pip, but it might pass over that one static recorder 70 times in one night. So you can't get a good representation of the population. What you can do is get a representation of the makeup of the population of bats, so you can see how many different species are using that area on the site. It is really important we do know what species are there, because each one does have slightly different mitigation requirements and does have different needs. Every species is different, and they do change slightly. But yeah, we got another 4 to set at this site today, and then one other site that's going to get one on the way back, because it's on the way back for me. But yeah, cool. I will catch you up at the next location. So just set up the next one. It's really, really windy up here. Just up here. This one's pointing more out into the field, just because we want to see which species are using the field to forage. So in the evenings, insects will come up off the fields. They will then fly through the air, obviously. Otherwise, they'd just be jumping. But yeah, they would come up off the field, and then bats, which will be living in this woodland. I can already see, even from a quick walk around the edge of the woodland, there are a few roost features there. They'll come out of the woodland into the field and feed and forage for all of those insects that come off the field. I'm going to run back down this hill because it is really, really windy up here, and not very nice. My glasses are getting covered in little bits of rain already. But I'll catch up with you guys in the car. I will catch up with you guys in the car, because you've got to drive to location number 3. Waiting for this rain to sort of died down a little bit. I've got a little bit of a walk to the next location, so just want to try to avoid getting wet as much as possible. But these statics are set out for, as I said, to record bat activity. So they don't give an idea of how many individuals are at a site, because one individual bat can pass over one of these statics multiple times. But we try to set them out at strategic locations at a site. This is so that we get a good overview of the whole site, so that we can make a educated decision about the mitigation, which areas require more mitigation, especially for large projects. So all of these different things can give us a better holistic view of the whole site. This goes back to the levels of ecology, which was in the first video. So if you want to check it out, click up here somewhere. There'll be a link. I'll put it there for you guys to link back to it. And that way you'll be able to get some of the fundamentals of what ecology really is. But yeah, it's died down a little bit now, still quite windy. So I'm just gonna nip out, set this next static, and then come back to the car nice and quick. Okay, so we're at location number 4. This one's a little bit more sheltered, so decided to bring you guys along for this one. Just got this nice little woodland walk up to it, and then it's out into the windy field. But yeah, so on to location number 4. Now, one thing that is really important, so all of these statics have numbers on them, so we've numbered them as a company, and we also give the locations numbers. So there'll be, like I said, location 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 for this site, and it's quite important that we know which actual statics are at which monitoring point. So one easy way to make it so that you guys don't have to think about it too much is to try to just keep it in number order. So this one's number 15. So I've currently set 12, 13 and 14. Last one's going to be 16, and it will then mean that I know which ones are where. Just helps with that data analysis a little bit later on, and will help us with getting all of that data analysed, squared away and checked properly, and so that we can actually classify which areas of the site are used by which bats. But yeah, I'm pretty much at this location now. As I said, nice short walk. Is uphill though, so not the nicest of walks, but we made it up here. So just going to try to find a good location on this hedgerow, and I'll set this one and we'll head over to number 5. So like I mentioned before, we're always trying to get a really holistic view of each site that we go to. So when we're doing these surveys, even setting up statics like I'm showing you now, we always want to keep our eyes out. You always want to look at the ground, especially. That's where you're going to see quite a few of the signs of other species. So you might find little nuts which has been gnawed by hazel dormice. You might even see some of the reptiles. We're also doing reptile surveys at the site. Today's not really appropriate for me to do one as well, as it's quite windy and rainy. So I'm not doing one today. But yeah, so always want to keep an eye out. Always want to keep looking for those other species, because even ad hoc sightings are very, very useful for the holistic view of a site. Another thing to mention, these statics are very, very sensitive. When you're setting up the microphones, you need to make sure that they do not have anything in front of them. Any leaves that are directly in front of them, you will not get any recordings at all, and you won't get any data. So you need to make sure that you're keeping that microphone nice and open. I'm back at the car now, which is fine. while you can hear the cars going past. You might be able to hear them going past. But yeah, need to make sure that you keep that nice and open so that you can actually get the data you need for each of the surveys. Cool, let's head to 5. Let's head to location. Right, so let's head to location number 5. So I recorded a little bit whilst I was just setting that last one, but when I've just come back to the car, had a look at the footage, it's way too windy. Even with these on them, it's yeah, way too windy to even hear anything. But yeah, that is the last one set at the location just up there. Now it's time to head to my second site of the day. I get the last static for today set and ready to go. But yeah, you just got to remember those key things with these statics. They're here to give you a holistic view of the site. They're only going to give you a snapshot of which species are using the site, not how many of them. And always make sure that you're setting them correctly. All of these statics do come with manuals, so you should read that first. Make sure you know what you're doing and where you need to set them. The higher you're able to get the microphone up, the better. However, that doesn't mean you need to go swinging from trees or anything. Just try to keep everything nice and sensible, and it should be perfectly fine. And just make sure that it's not got any leaves directly covering in front of that microphone, otherwise you will not pick up anything. Apart from that, I've been Joe. Hope you guys learned something today. If you have, drop a like on the video, hit that subscribe button if you feel like you should. If you want to learn a little bit more about ecology, hit this video here. It will take you through the basis of what ecology is, and I'll see you guys in the field.